Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Crafty Kaylee Creations. I'm Kaylee. It's been a little while since I've done a video, as I've been finishing off a few other little projects. So, hope you're all well. I'm going well at the moment. A couple of my grandsons have been rather sick and we've been helping out a fair bit there. If you're a new subscriber, I can see I've got some new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm going to be starting a new project. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see this. It's a, I suppose you could call it a box, but it's a cylinder with a box, and it has a carry ribbon on it. My daughter got it with a gift in it and she didn't want it, and the kids were playing with it in their playroom, and I said, if you don't want that box, could I please have it? Sure, Mum, you take it. So I would like to cover it to have in my craft room. So what I was thinking, well, I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now and can't decide on what fabrics I want to use. I was going to use I am using Tilda fabrics. This is Tilda Hometown, and I was just going to use some other Tilda fabrics in pink, and I just couldn't decide. So I absolutely love this covered box I made with Tilda Hometown. This was for Roxy Volume 5 when we did a covered box. See if I can bring you up a bit closer to just see. I put beads on the ladies' dresses and used some silk ribbon to do some flowers and embroidered bits of their dresses. And I just love it. And so what I've done is, the sides I did in one of the contrasting fabrics. A little yo-yo here with a little bling bling. And it's covered inside as well. And I am keeping all my Tilda Hometown fabrics in here. This is the only fabric I've used in the whole range. I'll be having a de-stash soon to get rid of some of the fabrics that I know I won't use and they just sit there. My neighbourhood. So it was the lavender one in this, was in here with houses on it, that I've used on the inside of the lid. I've got that piece left over. And on the inside here and there of the box. And yeah, I also put a piece on the bottom. That's just fabric there. I didn't put any on the sides. I have put some batting under the fabric to make it nice and soft, which I thought would be nice. And so I can't decide. I'm at a bit of a dilemma because I've been looking at it all morning. My favourite colour fabrics, I'm not sure if you know, are reds. Red is my favourite colour in many things, and I love reds. But the last year or so I have been trying to diversify, challenge myself, whatever words, to use different fabrics. And I'm finding I'm absolutely loving the lavenders. I'm glad I chose lavender for this box. Now, my little dilemma is, should I use the lavender on to cover this cylinder box, or do I go completely different and go with the red? Well, it's the red background, but we still have ladies in pink and blue dresses. So that's what's happening at the moment. So I can't decide whether to do that or do this. If you'd like to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I'm not going to cut any fabric today because I just can't decide if I'd like to have it the same. Not that they need to be sitting next to each other in my room, so it doesn't really matter if they're not the same. So I could definitely go with that. But I'm just at a bit of a dilemma. The only other thing too I have to do, because it's 10 inches high, so that is not a problem. 9 3/4, which is 25 centimeters, and the circumference is 24 inches, 61 centimeters. And so I have fat quarters in these fabrics. With the lavender piece, I can still use this. It's 9 3/4. And yes, I'm going to use a piece, like it'll have a bottom on it. So I will lose a little bit there, and I will lose a little bit here for the lining. However, I don't think that's a problem because I'm going to have the lid on it, and the lid around the side of the lid is 1.5 inches, 4 centimeters. So that's not going to bother me at all. However, because the circumference of the container is 24 inches, this is only 22 because it's a fat quarter. So I could easily like cut that off there and then use another piece here to add in. What are your thoughts on that? Because really it's only 2 inches. So yes, I'm going to need 2 inches plus a bit of overlap. Or do I not use that whole piece to go around? This was the other thing I was thinking about. If I just had a panel of the ladies at the front, well, it's cylindrical, so there's no front and back, but say the front, and a panel at the back, and then all these are the lavender choices I've got. I could then, on the side pieces, well, I am calling it front and back because there's handles, so, and which I am going to put back in. Not that one, maybe this one or this one. I could add pieces to the side. More likely this one, I think. I think the background on that one's too dark. I think I would go with that one. So I either do that, yeah, I don't know, I can't decide which of these to go for. And then with that one, I think I would go with that. Or there's this one. Maybe in this instance I'd go with this one because the background's more like that, isn't it? Anywho, the other colours in the range, which don't really interest me that much is there's green. The greens, or I'm not going to do it in green. And I think there's a blue. Yeah, I don't mind the blue. And there's the blue. They're beautiful fabrics. I've got quite a few Tilda ranges that I'm yet to use, but you see them, I see them, I like them, I buy them, and then they sit here. So that's why I thought, rather than just doing anything scrappy and slow stitch, I'd like to use some of these beautiful fabrics, and I still do slow stitching on it because I just love how I added the beads and the silk flowers onto this one. So that's my thought. And pink is going to be the lining, regardless of which I choose. Just a normal pink. I'm not using one of the Tilda fabrics. Only because I felt with the box it was nice to put the Tilda inside, because you open it up and it's all there and you see everything. Whereas with the cylindrical container, like you pull the lid off, I'm going to have things stacked in there, you're not really going to see much of it. And yes, it's already pink. However, I just think I'd like to have fabric in there. And this is what I'm going to use. So how I'm going to do it, I'm not sure, I think it was a Japanese lady covering a box recently on YouTube. And what I will be doing is attaching the pink fabric to the top, and I'll put the cylinder down inside till it reaches the bottom, and then turn the pink inside. Do you see what I mean? And then I'll just cover a cardboard disc and pop down the bottom. So that's my thoughts. On the lid, I haven't decided. I won't put a lady up there. Maybe I'll just put some of the contrasting fabric. And I am going to I showed you these a while back. Around this part of the lid, my thoughts are at this time is to glue some of this on. I think that looks really pretty, rather than try and do something with fabric. I think that'll be a pain in the butt, to be honest. Yeah, that's my idea anyway. So that's my next project, and if you would kindly leave me a comment, what do you think? Which colour? The red or the lavender? I honestly can't decide. I'm sort of heading towards the lavender, I think. Even though I love red, I really do like this lavender piece. In the meantime, what I started today, I'll finish it later. One of my daughter's mother-in-law made a comment when I did my last kamabakuro, aka Japanese rice bag. She said she just made a comment, she loved the doily with the beads because it gave her memories of her childhood in South Africa. her mum had them and they used them, and I said to her, well, I actually cheated. I said the beads didn't come on that one. It's just a doily, but I added the beads. My memories of childhood up at my grandma's, or where all my doilies come from, she had the doilies with the beads on, and she had put over like the milk jug on the table, or the custard, or different things. It's like to keep flies out, obviously, insects. No fly screens or anything like that back in those days. And so I said to Dawn, well, I have like dozens of Grandma's doilies. So I said, if you like, I can, I'd be happy to put some beads around one and give it to you. So I took a photo of 3 this morning and sent to her and said, well, you choose which one you'd like and I'll put the beads on. So I've done 3. They're more time consuming than I thought, actually, because I haven't done it on an actual doily to use, only that one. So I have used crochet thread, and I think this is one of Grandma's crochet threads, to be honest. There was a few in her box I inherited. And so I've put the bigger bead and then the small bead to go back up, and yeah, actually I'm quite liking it. It looks quite nice. So I've just got to finish those off. There's 10 in total. I've done 3. So I will finish that off later for her. And it's the middle afternoon on Friday for me, and we're going down to visit our daughter and grandsons after. So I just thought I'd get in with this quick little video and ask what your thoughts might be. And then I would like to start this project in the next few days, I'm thinking. So there's my box. I just love this box. I do have another one that was gifted to me recently, so I'm going to cover it as well. That's not in there properly, is it? Maybe I had them down there, because it's just so handy to keep the fabrics in, so I could keep another. Yes, that's better. Keep another fabric line in it. That would be lovely. Well, that's it for me today. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon. Please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I will reply to your comments, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.